Not very many people can say that after 36 years, they've still got their first car. And the people I've talked to that said, yeah, I still got my first car. When you drive that first car, it's like being a kid all over again. I worked at this grocery store, and this car was in the parking lot, and I was like, wow, 2,500. I was 17. I was like, I can get a loan. And I bought this car, and it was cool. And not knowing much about cars, I really got lucky. This thing had a 69 4-bolt truck motor. You could do a power brake like nothing else. I never knew what a power brake was, but I found out because I had a good buddy named Jason, and he had a 69 Nova. He taught me everything there was to know about Chevys. I even went to the high school drags. Pulled a 14.69, which not bad. Then the day came when I blew up that motor, holding the gas pedal down a little bit too long. And I found another used motor and threw it in there. Then I said, I need to get this car painted. And so I scoured it down and I rattle canned it. I even went and got firewood in it out in the old field, which is now Gem Heights neighborhood, which seems like it's been there forever. Did all kinds of stuff to fix this car up. And then it was time to rebuild a motor. So I got a block. It was only a 2-bolt main block, but I had the crank and the rods and the pistons, a rotating assembly. I had that balanced. There's Jason right there. He's looking through the cylinder hole. And then the day came. It's time to put that motor in the old car. Oh boy, did it shine. It's Chevy orange, which is the formulation has been changed on Chevy orange, I believe. But look at all these years later, that paint has held up. I did little weird stuff like I had to paint the bolts separate. But she's pretty faded now, but I was never able to blow this motor up, and I'm here to tell you, I didn't try, but I certainly did a lot of things that could have blown it up. And then it was on to, I found a guy who, although it took him almost 2 years in this dirt floor garage, he painted the car for me. And so this paint job, you see, it's over 30 years old. And this is that paint job. I'm sure it's got a ton of flaws. I even had lots of 66s in the meantime. I had a 66 four-door hardtop. I had a 66 Post. I had a 66 El Caminos. 66 station wagons. The day came where I was finally able to pick that car up and start to put it together. Boy, was I excited. I scoured down the engine compartment. I went over anything that needed going over, and I got that engine in the car. As you can see, it's that engine, all right. Oh, did it shine. Look at that brown hair. Woo! It's not that color anymore, that's for sure. But Jason, here we are, hot lapping the adjustment of the valves. That's Jason's arms there. And got that engine running, and it's been running ever since. And I even redid the interior, pulled out everything. I resealed it, and You know what? No rust holes in the floor. It's amazing. There I am working on it. Ended up putting this dash in it because it's the Deluxe 300 dash, which was the plain Jane dash, but it had the real chrome trim in it, just like it's got today. Here it is, all finished and ready to go in. Celebrated my 1995. Jason and I, we had the bachelor party, just me and him, working on the car because I wanted to get it ready for wedding day. And I had lots of help from lots of other family and friends. Here's that interior. And bam, the car was done. And all these years, I've just pretty much just driven it and kept it going and whatnot, but it sure feels good to have your first car. The interior's still the same. I've been able to, fortunate enough to keep the car indoors. Got that big old stock steering wheel. Got the floor shift, I got the knee knocker tack, got the gauges, the gauge pack, all that cool factory stuff. So, the time has come. I got rid of the Plymouth Barracuda that was in here, taking up space, and now I'm back to my roots. And digging through my gasket box, I've got rubber valve cover gaskets. I've got a box of gaskets that's never been opened and actually made in the USA. That's how old those are. I've got another set of gaskets. I've got a cork set. I've got a lot of Chevy gaskets here. So, as you can see, it's pretty drippy down here, so we're going to do some valve cover gaskets. We're going to do some spark plugs, and we're going to freshen up the radiator, the antifreeze, and the new filter, a couple new filters. I'll be throwing one of these. Look at this. One of those times, I don't know, the last couple of years, I just got on the freeway and I just held the gas pedal down, and I just kept holding it down and holding it down, and you know what, the car was not happy about that. So we're going to remediate all these problems, clean up this engine a little bit, get some new gaskets, and we're going to make her sing. And mind you, this car, like I said, I've just been driving it. It hasn't been sitting. Yeah, it stays in the garage, but it's just been driven and rode hard and put away wet. So it's time to fix her up again.